didn't realize I was doing it before it was like all the way into it, just to bring a full circle and be like, all right, it was an intricate way of explaining something simple to myself, a complex way doing it. But the way it ended and the way I explained it to myself was almost like some sixth sense, finding out, oh shit, he been dead the whole time. Like, oh shit,
Yeah.
like it was so profound. Like, damn, like that level of intellect, like explaining it to a kid, but then something so complex, but in a way they could understand. Man, just y'all get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man. That hey Charles, tell the truth though. That 4ACO was some good shit.
it was, man. It was.
if you knew if you
It
knew how to
was.
use it, that shit was flip. That was the flim flam for shizzle.
Yeah, yeah, flim flam for shiz. Yeah. Yeah, it's its own, even though, yeah, it's essentially this psilocin.
Yeah.
So your body is, skipping the part of converting the psilocybin into psilocin. So, you're getting a little more of a mainline, so to speak. But yeah, it has its own characteristics to it too. And it's just one thing that I really like about it is it's real consistent with the doses.
Yeah.
Whereas, with mushrooms, you sometimes don't know what you're gonna get. I mean, on this too, but there's something about a consistency of knowing, like, hey, I'm going to react to this particular dose this way or experience this on this dose. So,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
60, I found out 60 milligrams was like boom. That's like that was a primo good point for me.
That's fucking
80
great.
was like 80 was wake
What's
up.
up, Mario?
80 was wake up status.
You know it's crazy. Mine was two knife tips.
Right, right.
Ghetto as hell, man. All I had to do was get a scale. It was like, I got a scale, but it don't go that low. So two knife tips. I don't even know how much that is.
Right.
It was
A
probably too
bump.
much.
How
Yeah.
big is a bump?
Yeah, how big is the bump? Man, the edge of a knife. Like a match tip. Like a match tip? Okay. Yeah.
No, but book, what's trippy about it is, man, you
You keep going out,
40
Charles.
milligrams. Oh, can you
You
hear me
went
now?
out. Yeah.
All right. I was gonna say it'd be trip. I said, what a trip though if you was actually taking on the lower end like 20, 30, or 40 milligrams, and that was like blasting you out there.
Whew. Yeah. Probably. I wish I knew. And I
Yeah.
know, you know, it's crazy. I know I got something hiding around somewhere. I just can't find it. I just can't
He said
find
it's
it.
here somewhere.
Hey, I just can't find it. I wish I could. I found the bromo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
but
found
you
the.
ain't going there with it, right?
Yeah, nah. Yeah, you know, I ain't tackling that one. Not until I know for a fact. Somebody said
Hmm.
I did it 19 times. Then yeah, then I'll go. But at this
I
point,
think, yeah, I know some stuff on. You're right, unless you got personal reference.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm like, like I had looked on Reddit, and I seen a couple of experiences, but it wasn't enough to really even go, yeah. But it seemed like a lot, like they were saying it was like mellow though,
Okay.
which would be cool because that the 4ACL was so strong. What's up, Magnum Opus? But yeah, it was so strong. But you know what I liked about it, Charles? It seemed like it pushed you past your scary self. It pushed you past that of being
Yeah.
scared and fear. Like as you was on it, it pushed you past that. Like every time, it took me so far past that it was like that didn't even exist. Like fear
Mm.
didn't exist. What's up? I am one of us. I think that's the part that I liked is that it did that and it did it so smoothly. so smoothly. Except that first one when I was melting in this chair. I was trying to be on the live, it melted me.
So I was melting in the chair.
Yeah. So yeah, but that last one, Charles, I'm telling you, I wish you know, and it's like that's the best way I can explain the sky and here, bro. That shit was the same thing. It was like it wasn't one thing that was out of place down here that was out of place up there. It was like whoa.
Mm,
But
mm.
I'm just like wow. Only a bubble in the mind. He said fear is only a bubble in the mind.
Well,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
yeah. It's which we use it for survival purposes. Like that nigga got a gun. Everybody know to run.
Break wide, as they say.
Who your heart be beating fast? I almost got shot. Almost got shot.
Yeah, fear is a good threshold guardian. Wendy said it keeps the riffraff out.
Yeah, yeah. It's a protector. It's a fine-tuned security guard.
Tiny. Call it tiny.
Yeah. Call it tiny because as soon as it come on, that should be big as hell. So wow, man.
It says RoboCop nephew.
Yeah, RoboCop nephew or something, and it works. It works miracles sometimes. Cause you know what, Charles, I haven't been, like I don't be smoking as much as I used to. So like when I did kind of trying to start back, like bro, oh man, the paranoia is so real.
Right.
But
Yeah, that's when they decided it can be.
yeah, the paranoia is real. But another, like on the other hand, it's also beautiful because it shows you how your mind will send itself in these chaotic places. It's like it lock itself in a room and then it forget how to get out and to try to get out the whole time and to think of all the things that could possibly happen to you while you stuck in this room. And that shit just kind of go on and on and on, like yeah, on and on and on, and yeah, I'll be looking out the window and some more shit. Like I was paranoid the other day. I had smoked, I had smoked and then decided to go to the grocery store because I had the munchies. You know how many police I seen?
All of it.
Oh shit!
Hey,
Right.
hey, hey, two police pulled up. They was two cars behind me. Two police cars going back to back. Look, I hopped over in the other lane and so they could pass me. And then when they got on the side of me, I wouldn't even look at them. My paranoia was really getting the best of me. The best of me. But it was dope at the same time because afterwards I just laughed, bro. Like that was hella funny. Like you really was scared and you had no reason to be scared, but you was in fear of your life.
Yeah, it should be amplified.
Yeah, it'd be hella amplified. But it'd be, like the one thing that I learned is like all these different dimensions that we go into, ideas of our mind or whatever, it's just a phase. And you go in and out of them. And it's just like, when you get into one, it's like, you just, man, you got to learn it. You got to learn it, and you can't, like, not to the point to where you kind of let it consume you all the way, but you got to experience it so you can know how to deal with it. in certain, in all the aspects of life. You got to deal with it, with the pain, the hurt, the trauma, the stress. You got to learn how to deal with it. But you can't look at it like, oh, I don't want this to happen, because it's something that happens and it's happening. And we all go in and out of these places for the experience or what we go for. I don't know. Some people just be scared of everything.
Well, part of us gets a little bit better the next time you were going to encounter that trauma scenario situation. Like, oh, I know what happened in this situation. I got out of it like this. So maybe if I do, okay, this doesn't, you kind of get this breathing room or this space
Yeah.
instead of, because the mind's really good at calculating and you, like what you're saying, a gun goes off, so I know what to do if a gun, shows up in the whatever.
Yeah.
So the first time that happened, something, you have that certain trauma response, but after that, it's like, oh, there's something here that is actually responsive. I can actually manifest. There's a part of me that is in control of this.
Yeah. What it too reminds me of, Exile, of the video game. Like when you first start playing the new game, and then you run out there and you get smacked. You run out there again and you get smacked. And you just keep going though, but as you go on, you learning to get further and further past the stages.
Right.
And every time you get further and further. So sometimes you be stuck at one place for a long time.
Right. Pull out the guidebook, phone a friend.
Yeah. Look at some videos. How did I get past this stage? I gotta go watch the walkthrough. But like each one of these stages though, a lot of us overcome. Like some don't, but a lot of us overcome. And the fact of the matter is, even the ones that don't, it really don't even matter.
Yeah, that was for that experience, that life, who was ever that you're referring to, was for that experience. We talk about, like, does a baby have consciousness? At what point does a baby have consciousness? Is it wrong to, what happens to a baby when the baby dies in the mother's womb? Like, well, that was for that life to experience that womb or that whatever it went through. And that might seem like a solemn signal, a solemn transmission, but until you value your own life, you can't really see the value of any other life. Like, until I know love within myself, until I know pain, until I know fear, until I know these things within myself, my own experience, then I can't talk about them, speak about them, write about them fully, right? Not in a way that somebody else is going to actually get that in that writing, that one off. Oh, that's what that is. Yeah. Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah. So yeah, it's that's trippy, man. And it's the thing is experiencing itself in all these different ways. It's just every which way possibly known. And it's weird because like the experience that I had before that last one, Charles, that's the thing that I was seeing that kind of Charles laughed. That's the thing that I was seeing, Exile, though, that threw me off, is the fact that it was almost like life was like this wave pattern thing just going sideways. But all the cracks and crevices that was in it was like the people. You feel me? They were like the people and the little things. But even though that as it was going, these things, they thought they were, just the cracks. But even the little cracks is still a part of the whole picture.
Right. Like our thoughts or emotions. We get stuck in these thoughts, stuck in emotions, and forget sometimes about our being, our core, whatever your reason is for being, whatever that is at the time. And those thoughts or those emotions might be leading you back. hey, this is the core, like kind of how the mycelium threads out, and then it'll bridge this whole new body, and then it threads out again, and it'll bridge this whole new body, or like how stars and galaxies and shit.
Yeah, yeah, that is.
And part of it is like we want to have this logical way of explaining totality or the absolute. There's a bunch of words to describe this thing, the happening, to call it, so we can transmit and talk about it. It really doesn't, on one level, it really doesn't need to be talked about. But then there is communion, there is sameness in the speaking, in the dancing, in the writing, in the drawing, in
Yeah,
dot dot dot.
yeah, that shit is dope. That shit is beautiful to me. Like
So
every
it's like, I'm sorry, when you're living in your core purpose, whatever that purpose is, you can write your purpose down and live that purpose. You can create that, but when you're there, there's nothing else. Like that's why there was trillions or billions of years to get you to this Discord today, or to wherever you're gonna be. If you're living in that, that's what it is. Like there is nothing else really.
yeah, and that's everybody's being.
Right, that experience. And
Yeah,
so we try to have this, oh, you got to do this. You got, logic and experience, they kind of butt heads because one knows it and one's trying to tell about it. Like,
yeah,
well, you can tell about it, sure, if that's your being. So you are being the telling.
yeah, and
It's going to go back and forth in our mind. I'm going to say it a
so
different way. Say
so
the
it's
same
like
thing that I just said to you, but say it in a different way.
you creating you creating the listener as the listener is creating you.
Right. And that receptivity. If I can see that the words that you hear, the words that I hear are the same, then I'll accept them.
Yeah,
So the greatest acceptance that I can have, the greatest receptivity, is to accept everything that's coming. Right?
yeah,
Sometimes you don't want to accept that gun pressed to your head. Sometimes you don't want to accept the fear, hate, trauma, anguish, worry, those things, because they seem like they're separate from you. You should run away from that. But that might be the point of your catalyst, of your getting back to the core, finding your purpose, whatever words we want to try to put on it.
yeah. You gotta face them fears though. You have to face them fears. But you
Yeah,
but you don't have to at the same time.
this too shall pass.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
body won't be around forever. You only have certain amount of time to say certain words to certain people. A sentence or whatever, that's we're all, so go to the higher level or lower level, whatever you want to call that.
If,
Like this thing is always,
do
go ahead.
you think it's lying if you tell a person what they actually just want to hear?
Yeah,
Is
it
it
is
is
lying.
it is it true for you?
Yeah, it feels true because it's true for them.
Then what can I say about it? My thing would just be trying to mirror back exactly what you're trying to do. So if you're living in that truth, you're speaking that truth, even though it might be what we call a lie.
Yeah, it might, but it might not be. But it is true because I don't know. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, today. I was talking to this person that was in bad shape. You know, they was older, on the breathing machine and stuff, and they was like telling me all the stuff that they were going through, and like basically I just told them, like I can tell they believe in God, so it's like, okay, God is good, like this. You're gonna go through things, but it's gonna be okay, no matter what happens or what you go through. God is gonna always take care of you. You're gonna always be okay. You're gonna go through the pain. It's gonna hurt, but it'll be all right. because God got his hands there on you with you at all times.
And you felt that that was a lie?
Nah, I didn't feel like it was a lie.
Oh, I didn't know how that corresponded. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, God, the three-letter word, it's not like that source, that thing, that being waited for English to be created so it could start living. Like that's just our appropriation of it, our concept of it. So many different sim, so many different symbols for probably God. There's so many different words or phrases or songs or so to put this thing as one thing, which it is, right? This oneness describes a doing, right? It's a ness, it's a being. Ing denotes a verb, an action verb.
yeah, yeah. It's weird because I feel like I see all the gods as being the same God. So it doesn't matter what God anybody believes in, it's still the one
Right.
God.
And so we try to put our finger, God's only in the grill. Only when I light the grill is God going to appear. Or only when I light the flame. Or only when I drink the water. Only when. So we start putting these shackles, constraints, limitations, distortions on something that has no distortion, really.
Yeah, but if somebody already has that, the mustard on the hot dog, why not help them with, I got a little bit more mustard for you.
Why not?
It's like,
You will feel when something is true. You'll feel when, over time or after, playing a lot of video games, you'll know kind of, hey, this is I should probably look over here. Hey, when I get into the level, look behind me. Like in Doom, there was a chainsaw right behind you if you went around this little thing in the first Doom. And there's these little things that we've built in, like to our gaming and to our probably our language too. It's just kind of maybe we didn't build it in. Maybe it's just a remnant or a shisha or a. I think we're always telling kind of the same story, like leading us back to ourselves, kind of thing. And so
yeah.
you can go anywhere that you want to go. If you go there truthfully, fully immersed, not half in, half out, or maybe it is half in, half out for you. Don't listen to fucking me. You got to go on yourself. Like I can't walk in your shoes. These are only words from my experience, right? So everything has to kind of be distilled by who you are. Like the
So,
trips, somebody could watch all your videos and still not get it. Like whatever's going on, it's still not, and that's okay, right? Bless
yeah,
you.
thank you. Yeah, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Because if you don't get it, you still got it. You still got it already. Even if you know you don't got it, even if you feel you don't got it, you still got it. That's just the part of it that feels like it don't got it.
Right? The toe thinks it's not the finger. The tongue thinks it's not the whatever, all these different aspects of this one thing, which is me,
Yeah,
is working together so I can be at the
yeah,
bar.
yeah. That's a bar. Yeah, it's all working, and that's what I feel about this thing. It's all working together to be one bigger thing. Which I don't know what that bigger thing is, but it's all working together to be that thing, and do,
Bro.
and it's being that thing.
Yeah.
And just like the fingernail thinking it's separate from the me or the mind, it's not.
Yeah, when you're scratching the scratcher ticket, so the fingernail thinks it's one, right? I did all the work here, but the And then the finger's like, no, I did all the work. And the arm's like, no, you're connected to me. And then the heart's like, where do you get your fucking blood from? And the brain, so
The brain is like, look, man, if it wasn't for me, none of y'all would be doing anything.
sometimes we feel like we're doing the most work in the group or whatever, like whatever part of whatever communion or family or street. Sometimes you feel like, oh, all the strength, all the density, all the inertia is on me. Well,
Yeah.
that might be true. It might be true.
Yeah. Said the
But then that
consciousness
are
gonna
you
tell the brain, wait, hold on. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even know what to tell them to do. You wouldn't know you were scratching.
so at some point it's like, what are we gonna do with this knowledge? Like what does all this accumulation provide? Like at some point there's a distilling or refining, separating the wheat from the chaff, the cream from the milk, the burnt stuff on the top of the steak from the part of the steak that actually, or whatever it is, like
Yeah.
the teeth gnashing, you find that bone. Oh shit, you forgot to take the bone off of that. Or I found a BB in my steak once. Somebody shot a cow with probably a fucking, peppered, or what do they call it, a bunch of BBs in a shotgun shell. It
Yeah.
shot the cow, and then I'm eating the steak from the fucking store, and I crunch on a fucking BB.
Dang. Yeah, that's what.
It was
I'm
supposed
like,
to be like that. It couldn't have gone any other way. So to put blame and hate on it, oh, you did this, oh, you did this. So the pride can give you the other side, right? It comes with blame. It, and at some point, if I didn't if I didn't give you the disease, if I didn't cause the hurt, then why would you give me credit for the thing that got you out of that?
yeah.
The healing. This No, we are all just this conduits for this one thing going on. Khan said a good word earlier today: mediate. We're like mediators in this oneness
And yeah, in this
kind of thing.
oneness.
Reflections or
Yeah,
mirrors.
that's what I was just thinking. Reflections. I was gonna say it, but you said it. Reflections, mirrors.
I blame you for all my problems, true.
Yeah, and I thank you for all my good times. Yeah, I said we like it's crazy because even when you think about the light and you know how the light hits a mirror and it reflects light, or a mirror just reflects everything. It doesn't even discriminate.
Right.
No discrimination.
So it takes a certain amount of attention, awareness to actually clean that mirror so you can start seeing things. Because you could draw stuff on the mirror and then you point a thing at it and maybe it reflects that drawing that you just did, or
Yeah,
cut out parts of the mirror. But
yeah,
then it takes a certain type of attention to flip that mirror around and to see through that mirror now. Instead of seeing the reflection, now you're seeing through that mirror.
what's on the other
Like
side?
psychedelics or meditation or, yeah, peripheral vision.
Yeah, astral projection. All the but what if they still in the mirror though? They are. They yeah. No. Hell no. Yeah,
There's
that's
a
trippy.
certain type of being, the consciousness, that needs no reflective quality. It's like how you can know that you are yourself in a way. I am. And there needs no reflection. So if you see something that, or have a distortion of something else, well, that's okay too, whatever it is.
Yeah. Happening.
Bro,
Everything's happening at one time. No separation. But separation at the same time.
Well, Khan was talking about, they called it in his training camp, wherever he was for basketball or whatever, they called it an Indian run. It's kind of where you're running in a line, but then the back person in the line's got to run to the front. And then the next back person has to run to the front. The next back person has to run to the front.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So, so the thing will get harder, or harder for the person to catch the front when everybody's kind of lagging. There's these gaps between the people, right? Then you're making the
Yeah.
distance longer. The person's got to run even farther. So the best way we're gonna be able to help everybody is if I'm right up against that next person. So the
Yeah.
next person behind me, if they're doing that, hopefully, I can't control them, but maybe by seeing what is the best to do, they can offer their best, and I can't offer my best to anybody if I'm not at my best.
Yeah, because especially when you see yourself that made a 2 foot gap, and then you got to run that extra 2 feet, you're gonna be like,
Yeah, you get
I'm gonna put my shoulder up on his. Forget that.
a you get a smack in the head as the person runs by you. Fuck.
Yeah. like, like, get it right, man. You gapping us up. But yeah, I gotta check out, y'all. I didn't have that long. I had to check in for a minute. Thanks, Exile.
Appreciate you.
I said it'd be kind of dope, when you just get to kind of listen to somebody just talk.
That's right.
Yeah, that should be lit, man. And it
We're all
wasn't
co-writers.
yeah, it was like no gang of interferences. You was just able to just go. I said this is gonna be one yeah for the books. This is
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
yeah, I appreciate you too. And I'ma holla. All right, Cryo.
Later.
Wow, man. Doctor Smiley, Alley Cat. But hey, Cryo, if you don't be snoring like the other day, trying to do some Call of Duty later.
Yeah, we're gonna do some Call of Duty later.
All right, I'll tap in with you as soon as I get done. All right, y'all. And all right, everybody out there, yeah, we're gonna later on we're gonna get on Call of Duty. I might just stream it, just why not? Cause we'll be having fun. But I thank y'all for watching and being here, and hopefully a couple other people start coming in the chat and